Hello, church friends. My name is Vern Erickson, and I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm here today to share the story of a remarkable man. He helped the church understand what it means to value the worth of all persons. William T. Blue has deep roots in the community of Christ Church. His ancestors were among the first former slaves who were baptized in the church in 1866. As a child, he attended a house church that was held in his grandparents' living room and grew in the faith. He said there was no question he would join the church. All his kin were members, and he wanted to go to heaven when he died. Bill learned to read by reading to his grandmother from the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, and Stepping Stones, the church's magazine for children. Bill was ordained a priest in 1947 in a nearby white congregation, and later became the pastor of another congregation nearby, a segregated black mission that was known until 1958 as the Colored Mission. The local district president spoke highly of his leadership and his pastoral qualities. Although Bill was respected for his ministry, it was common for him and his family to be victimized by racism inside and outside the church. Blacks had separate places to sit when they attended the white church. He was told that it was because of the law. He knew better, of course. The local Episcopal church had a mixed congregation. In the 1950s, Bill and his wife attended a priesthood and wives dinner in a nearby city. When it came time to eat, he was told to wait until others had eaten, and then a table would be set for him. This also happened at reunions. He couldn't eat with the other campers. Despite the indignities and racism he experienced within the church, he was a leader who helped the church deal more intentionally with racial problems in the church and in the greater world. At the 1968 World Conference, Bill introduced the motion entitled Implementation of Racial Brotherhood. The resolution stated that this conference go on record as commending those who have moved out with specific programs of compassionate witness of the gospel to all racial and ethnic groups, and to the Negro in particular. Stakes, districts, branches, and members were called upon to reach out with a greater expression of Christian love to share this message of faith, hope, and brotherhood with all racial and ethnic groups around and among us, that this restored gospel might truly provide a pattern of Zionic brotherhood to the world. The resolution was adopted. Although Bill's formal education ended after the 8th grade, 2 of his children went to Graceland and finished at the University of Kansas. Bill and his wife were encouraged by church members to move to the Kansas City area. Although Kansas City was not a racial paradise in 1969, Bill's ministry was in high demand at area congregations. Barbara Howard, an editor for many church publications, recalls that one of the most powerful sermons she had ever heard was one in which Bill Blue expressed the importance of integrity. Bill eventually became a high priest and then an evangelist. He was active in ministry well into his 90s when he was a camp pastor for youth in Detroit. He stressed God's love for all and that the children were all persons of worth. During an interview with the church historian Mark Scher, Bill was asked why he remained in the church in which he had experienced so much racism. He said, "The conclusion I reached was that it was just as much my church as it was theirs." He remained a faithful servant until his death at the age of 97.